Sajin de Vass Gunawardana.
Honorable Speaker, sir, before I proceed on to the speech that I had in my mind, I would like to start by saying have some patience, to the Honorable Ravi Karunanayaka, who spoke a little while ago and spoke about the fact that most of the government MPs speak about His Excellency the President. Of course we speak about our President. We speak about our President because we are proud of him. We are proud of what he has done for this country. We are proud of him eradicating terrorism for this country. We are proud of the development that he has brought about for this country. And we are extremely proud of where he has placed Sri Lanka in the world map today. And that is why, Honorable Ravi Karunanayaka, before you leave the chamber, that I would like to say that we are very proud of him and we would continue to mention about his achievements, His Excellency's achievements. Now, Honorable Speaker, sir, I was listening to the speech given by Honorable Sambandhan, who I respect a lot as a very senior statesman and a senior politician in this House. But I am saddened. I am saddened to see, on the one aspect, that the Honorable Sambandhan is walking a very tight rope. My perception of, Honorable Sir, of where you are is between the government and the diaspora. Now this is, if you would be kind enough to sit and wait, Honorable Ravi Karunanayaka, you can listen. So therefore, Honorable Speaker, sir, the tight rope that the Honorable Sambandhan is walking, I'm sorry to say, sir, you're bound to fall. Because you must understand the compulsions of the people of Sri Lanka. The speech that you made in this House today was not on behalf of the Tamil community of this country. In my mind, it was on behalf of the international community, whoever that you represent. Now let us look at the history of foreign affairs in Sri Lanka, the short history. If you take from the time of the late J.R. Jayawardena, we followed a policy more tilted towards the West, or may I say an absolute tilt to the West. We slighted India. We forgot about the rest of the region. We forgot that we need specific relationship with regions in the world. Today, with the globalization coming into play, with the world being complexed as it is today, we have to identify which regions that we are going to have a strong relationship with. In the immediate past, when we look at the immediate past, during the government of the Honorable Ranil Wickremesinghe when he was Prime Minister, we saw how a foreign nation came and got involved in the domestic issues of our country, and how that country basically, Norway, succeeded in connivance and in cahoots with the United National Party in territorially disintegrating this country, in geographically parting this country through a ceasefire agreement. Now, Honorable Speaker, sir, I remember when His Excellency the President visited the Right Honorable Tony Blair at Chequers, there was one thing that the Honorable Tony Blair stated to us, that is, Sri Lanka has done two fundamental mistakes. One is getting a third country involved in solving a domestic problem, and two is the fact of geographically segregating the country. I can see Honorable Sumanthiran nodding his head and smiling at me. I'm sure you agree with what I have said. Irrespectively, Honorable Speaker, sir, the Honorable Sambandhan also mentioned that there is an intensified approach from the government in terms of fighting for our rights. Of course we do have. Ask yourself why we have that situation. A lot of members of this House in the opposition has forgotten the fact how all this started. It was none other than Sarath Fonseca who brought up the white flag situation, for which he has been sentenced by a court of law, that was the commencement of all this, followed by the Darusman report. Now, the Honorable Sambandhan very ably and amply demonstrated facts about the Darusman report. Honorable Sir, let me remind you of one thing. In chapter 52 of the Darusman report, it very clearly states that they have taken upon evidence and information from around 4,000 people, that they don't want to divulge the names and the details that they have found, and that they have no capacity to verify whether they are true or not. But at the same time, they go on to say, Honorable Speaker, Sir, that Sri Lanka should be crucified, that accountability should be enshrined, that the Sri Lankan president must be taken to task. On what? You being Honorable Sambandhan, you being a leading lawyer, a statesman, when you read it, you can find it out for yourself. Being a statesman, you must understand that the law of evidence applies for these things. How can we crucify, how can we hold someone for accountability when the people who are accusing us, when what they are accusing of is not available to us? That has to be made available in the first place. Let me, following on, no, can you please, Honorable Mr. Sambandhan, may I please have my time? I didn't disturb you 1 second. Thank you very much. And also, there is a roadmap of the LTT, or what is left of the LTT. This roadmap still exists, and it is stronger than ever before. And quite shamefully, I would also have to say that there are certain Sri Lankan individuals who travel to these particular countries, to these particular institutions, and then propagate and instigate matters against the state of Sri Lanka. Now, take into consideration the global situation that exists today. The Middle East is in turmoil. If you take Libya, if you take Syria, Pakistan and USA are having now new issues, to the extent that the US drones went and shot 24 Pakistan military officials. Europe is going through, certain countries in Europe is going through an era of decadence. If I may recall, Honorable Speaker, Sir, the French President Sarkozy last week told the Prime Minister of Great Britain, the Right Honorable David Cameron, please allow us to mind our own affairs. You don't have to tell us what we need to do. We know what to do. Please mind your own affairs in Britain, and we will mind our own affairs in France. That is exactly what we have been saying, Honorable Speaker, Sir. That is what the learned TNA members, honorable members on that side can't understand. We have the right to find solutions to our own affairs. You do not have to go and subscribe to the ICC. You don't have to go and subscribe to Amnesty International. The United Nations Human Rights Commissioner is not the President of Sri Lanka, is not the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, is not the opposition leader of Sri Lanka, is not the leader of the TNA. She has a right to do her job, true enough. But we are a sovereign nation. When it comes to protecting our territorial integrity and our sovereignty, I think you and I both agree on that fundamentally. Now that is what has to be practiced. What is preached, if it is practiced, we can solve this problem without any issue. Moving on, Honorable Speaker, Sir. Look at Sri Lanka's foreign policy in today's context. We follow our foreign policy based on a non-aligned principles. Today we have excellent relationship with all the regions. If you take the SAARC region, if you take the ASEAN region, which was neglected by us. If you take the Middle East, if you take the Latin American countries, if you take Eastern Europe, today His Excellency the President and the Honorable External Affairs Minister, Professor G.L. Peiris, have been in a position to bring back Sri Lanka into the map. If you look at the past 5 years of 6 years of our governance, more than 380 dignitaries have visited this country. Our interactions with those countries have increased. Our economic aid that we have got has increased. All this is because we respect the other country as it should respect us. Every country should respect Sri Lanka's territorial integrity. Every country should respect Sri Lanka's sovereignty. And we shall reciprocate that. But we will not permit our sovereignty and our territorial integrity to be undermined. or we shall not compromise that at whatever extent. That is the reason why majority of the people of this country has voted us for power. Thank you. Thank you.